The immigrant knows, for example, that aside from periodic visits of a tourist nature, he will never willingly return to his homeland. He is not far from thinking that this would, on the contrary, be a catastrophic upheaval in his life. He has discovered and openly acknowledges that the myth is over, the myth of a final return. For a long time, he wanted to believe, one day he put an end to what he considered a form of exile. Not all those living in exile were colonial subjects, but all former colonial subjects now settled in a host country feel like they are exiles. And then there are the voluntary exiles. This too is a rationalization which excapulates the immigrant for abandoning his country. He can claim to have left because forced by poverty, especially the insupportable poverty of his family, to whom he can now send part of his salary on a regular basis. One day, One day he will put an end to the situation which separates him from his loved ones without knowing exactly how. The time passes, he makes another life for himself with its new routines and amusements, almost as true as the old one. Exile is not always misfortune. Some plants, when they are moved, wither and die. Others adapt well and experience rapid growth. It is the return of the old country that becomes a kind of dream, gradually losing its substantiability. The only thing that remains for sure is nostalgia, and after all, absence makes the heart grow fonder. It is all as if the country had greater presence for him now than when he lived there. The Maghreb tenderly evokes the summer evenings, the sea, the fresh, and the abundant fish produced directly from the fishermen. The camel with his eyes shielded to prevent vertigo. What the fuck is this? Ceaselessly around the Noriah to release health, bringing water from the depths of the earth. He praises the exquisite aromas of jasmine, orange, flowers, and spices wafted off the breeze, forgetting the nauseating odor of garbage overlooked by a negligent municipality. The insistent rot from the lake into which he refuses the city flows, supporting a fauna of large fat mullets, which are appreciated by everyone, rich, poor, and alike. He passes in silence the perfidy of the sun and torpor of July and August, which burns lungs and vegetation, except for the luminous insolence of the hibiscus and the tenacious modesty of the geraniums, while he awaits the providential casuaria of August 15th, the Feast of the Virgin Madonna of the Sicilians, which signals the start of the slow waning of the heat wave, against the host country where he claims everything is harsh, the climate, the people, the customs. He continues to defend the homeland to which he insists he will one day return, but which has come increasingly imaginary, whose continual survival the money he sends back helps maintain, like those carefully preserved ghost towns of Portuguese immigrants, where all the windows have curtains in every garage and automobile, but which he never ever inhabited. But while the home country has not changed, at least in his memory, he has been gradually transformed. Following a relaxation of legislation in the host country, his wife has been able to join him. He's no longer a bachelor wandering the sidewalks near the Bob's train station in Paris between the apartments he shares with a roommate and the cafe where he meets his friends, not knowing what to do with himself. Oh no.
That's actually quite impressive.
Thanks.